Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
And Labour has accused David Cameron of undermining the honours system by recognising several key political allies in the New Year list. The award of a knighthood to the Conservative Party's controversial election strategist, Lynton Crosby, has received the strongest criticism, as Fatima Manji reports.
The government's got a clear plan for it.
New Year, new honours controversy. This time, most criticism directed at the knighting of Conservative spin doctor Lynton Crosby, best known perhaps for his mastery of negative campaigning. Labour's Andy Burnham said it was evidence the Tories think they can get away with whatever they like, adding it was a reminder Labour needed to stop facing inwards and expose them for what they are. But the Tories defended the decision, saying Labour was guilty of staggering hypocrisy, and the gong reflected a long tradition of honouring people involved in all political parties. Other political figures knighted this year include former Lib Dem Energy Secretary Ed Davey, who lost his seat in the general election. Nearly 1,200 people were honoured in this year's list. But as ever, with advisers and donors to the party in government being included, controversy around cronyism has been quick to follow.
Taking a look at the papers for us tonight, the Evening Standard columnist Rosamund Irwin and the media consultant Julian Samways. It's an annual story for us, isn't it, I suppose? The New Year's Eve honours list, or the New Year's honours list, tainted, says the Daily Mail, picking out a few of those names who have been awarded this year.
Well, I don't agree with this headline at all. I think Jacqueline Gold runs a successful business, Anne Summers, and she's been rewarded accordingly, and I think she deserves it, as does Barbara Windsor. There are some other names in there, however, I think deserve it much less.
We're talking about Lynton Crosby, are we?
We are indeed.
Right, OK.
Yes, and obviously we've known that since the weekend, which is quite interesting in itself, because all these things do come out rather earlier than 10:30 night. With Jacqueline Gold, I mean, it's quite an easy headline to act as though she's sort of the problem on this list, but I agree with you. I don't actually, you know, she's, as she was saying there, she's employed a lot of people. She's probably made a lot of people very happy, probably improved people's lives significantly. And I don't think she's the big problem. I think that is sort of the easy, slightly lazy headline. But then you look down the list, and they have picked out a number of other people that you might feel maybe possibly were less deserving. They've drawn out Lynn Homer, who was at the tax office and has been given a damehood, and they sort of listed all the things that happened under her watch, I think at the Home Office. Who I think she's in charge of the immigration system, I seem to remember. Yes. Yeah. And then they've looked down Ed Davey, who obviously lost his seat back in the general election in May, has been given a knighthood. So yes, it's always this perpetual story, isn't it? That we, of course, these are the people we're hearing about, and in that clip we saw someone, I think he's that BMX track was at Burgess Park, if I'm right, which is right by where I live, and that's an extraordinary thing, getting children into exercise, really positive things. But then it does always feel tainted by some of these big names.
But that's the point, isn't it? Is it right to rubbish the New Year's honours when some people, you know, are desperately proud of being given an award? Yes. People like the BMX place you talked about.
It's not clear how they're actually awarded. So you get these people who very much deserve the honours, and you get people whose names seem to be thrown in simply for doing their job. So you've got Lynton Crosby. He should not, I think, have got a knighthood. Last year, I believe, over 130 civil servants got honours just simply for doing their jobs, and I think that's the wrong basis on which to give such honours, and it undermines those people who genuinely deserve it and go beyond the call of duty in terms of their jobs, and therefore deserve those honours.
The Daily Mirror, their main headline is about, as they describe it, the care home killer, the man alleged to have murdered his wife. The side story, shame of Cam and his honours cronies, and there is Lynton Crosby, and it's, you know, elements like this. What has he done for the British people? OK, he did a lot for the Conservative Party, but is that how we should judge whether somebody should be awarded, do you think?
Well, it does look like cronyism, doesn't it? I mean, and they would have known this would be a tricky sell, you know? It's also about how it looks to the public, I think, on this one. They should have known that looked terrible.
David Cameron's certainly leading with his chin on this. It undermines the honours list. Lynton Crosby did a very good job for the Conservatives, and some people would argue for the country as a whole, but he also got well paid for it too. And I'm not sure he deserves honour at all. And I think it does undermine the list. And it's just bad political judgment, I think, by David Cameron.
Easy to do at the beginning of a parliament or just soon after an election that you've won, than towards the
Well,
end
we'll
of
have
it.
forgotten about it by 2020 is the theory,
Overconfidence, I
isn't
would
it?
suggest.
Exactly.